That's why I have tile.
You know, I use that other one.
I have one in my wallet.
It's going pretty good. I forgot to bring my mask this morning when
No, it's just a little thing that you put on your key.
Right, but what I mean is that,
If it leaves the area.
and if David has it, he can, I forget where.
Oh, yeah, I don't know, but it just, with the phone, I can find it.
So I tried it and I didn't like it, so then I bought.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
For the City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Parking Authority, and Joint Powers Authority.
Persons wishing to address the Inglewood City Council, Successor Agency, Housing Authority, Parking Authority, the Joint Powers Authority on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time. Are there any public comments?
I believe we have one speaker there.
All right.
Shall I speak now?
Yes, definitely.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity to express my concerns, and thank you for your leadership. My name is Cynthia Oliver, and I'm a homeowner in Inglewood, District 1, Zone B, according to your parking permit plan. I am in favor of the parking permit plan for residents of Inglewood. but
Ma'am,
not as-
ma'am, hold on one second. Is this something on the agenda or is this an open public comment?
I saw parking permit on the agenda.
Well, then go right ahead.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I am in favor of the parking permit program for residents, but not as it currently designed. The parking permit program is flawed, it's not user-friendly for the residents, it's burdensome, and unfair fees are inflicted upon us. I voted in favor of the stadium, but with the assumption that we would not incur any additional taxes or fees. I'm asking for the council to consider revisiting the program so that it does not penalize the residents by imposing fees and annual fees to the residents. The city should have enough money bringing in for the stadium to cover any expenses related to the administration and oversight of the program. Not to mention, we're still in a pandemic and some folks are impacted. It should not be burdensome so that we have to inform the city every time we have a visitor that needs to park on the street at our home. We should consider placards which was successful in the past, instead of having to go online each time to inform the citizen and give personal information about our guests. And any program implemented should be citywide. I was an executive in healthcare for 30 years, and I'm currently operating my own hospitality business, and as always, it's paramount that we always provide the same level of service to every client, patient, in this case, constituent. So for residents in Zone 6 and 8, we're having fees imposed upon us simply because we live in proximity to the stadium. A $100 fee, for example, for having a third vehicle. And by the way, we know annual fees increase every year. Also, $50 if I choose to host a baby shower in my house simply because I live near the stadium, while other residents not in these zones do not incur such expenses. I pay the same tax rate as any other homeowner in the city, and a phased-in approach is not popular when you're in phase one paying fees that others are not currently paying. It's simply not fair. It's enough that the residents are dealing with the huge inconvenience of the traffic and readjusting our lives to accommodate the large influx of folks on the game days. The ingress and egress for the stadium was not well thought out, and we, the residents, are suffering the consequences of that. I called Councilman Dotson's office to express my concern, and I'm still awaiting a call from the councilman. To reiterate, my ask today for the council is to strongly consider revisiting the program. I'm definitely in support of the program. I cannot imagine that you had any input from residents living in those zones when the program was designed. I'm willing to serve on the committee. I'm also willing to lead such an effort if necessary. I strongly agree that there should be a program. I am a Round Seasons ticket holder, and I definitely don't want the circus that existed at the Coliseum on game days, but I am confident that we can design one that meets the intent of the program without penalizing and exploiting the Inglewood residents. Your consideration is greatly appreciated. I hope to hear from you, and again, thank you for your leadership, and I appreciate it.
Ma'am,
Yes,
what's your name?
Cynthia Oliver.
Ms. Oliver, let me just talk about a couple of those issues. You're absolutely right about ingress and egress to the stadium is going to have an impact on traffic and life around the stadium. I know, I don't know how long you've lived in Inglewood, but we had the same issues when the Forum, the racetrack were going, and we figured it out and we got better. Every event has gotten better for outbound and inbound traffic. That's a fact. So that this is part of living with having sports and entertainment in your city. The second thing, when you talked about the fees, the reality is this, that we've had an issue for quite some time with households that have a number of vehicles. And the reality is that most houses have a 2-car garage and they have a driveway that will support 3 other cars. So most houses have the ability to park 5 cars. In addition to that, you get up to 2 cars on the street for free. That's 7 cars. So, but we have some households that have 8, 9, 10 vehicles. And what they do is they park some of those cars around the corner. When people go to work, they'll take up a 2-space curb and leave their car there for their relatives to come home and park in front of those houses. I think Eloy can back me up that he's experienced that as well.
I can, add to the fact that addressing the parking concerns is different throughout the city, and I can tell you that while there are people who do think that the parking permit program is not perfect, I would say the extremely vast majority of folks are happy that the parking permit program is about to come into fruition. We see households with more than 5 vehicles. We see households with folks with 7, 8, 9 vehicles. And it's just, to use just simple words, I'll tell you, it's just not fair to the neighbors. And there are folks who have come and asked about us and the program and how we can take another look at it. But I can tell you that I've maybe gotten two phone calls that say, hey, I'm not in favor of it, and I've gotten maybe 40 calls saying, thank you. We love the program.
Okay, so and now to your issue of you're saying that you shouldn't pay more taxes. The actual reason for the permit parking is to make there be some caution about using spaces other than your driveway and your garages. You know, in Pasadena, they don't allow overnight parking. They don't allow it in neighborhoods.
That's true.
And there's a reason for that. One, you know who's in your neighborhood. It makes neighbors safer. And the reality is that public streets are not free parking structures. And that's what a lot of people have come to believe. So if you're a resident and you get 2 free spaces based on a car being registered to you, that means ostensibly you can park 7 cars. That's a lot of cars. So I hear you, but it's not a tax. It's not going to go up. It's to make the point that we have to come to a point where we organize our street parking. And that's to give you a different perspective. I'm going to tell you, I hear you, the council hears you, and this is a new program, and we're going to keep looking at it. And we want to make it the fairest we can for the residents. But at the same time, Inglewood was built at a time when families owned probably 1 car, 2 cars max. And now we have some households, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars. So that's to give you some perspective. This was not any half-baked thing said, oh, let's figure out a way to charge people for street parking. No stretch of the imagination what that's for. And then, of course, when the stadium came into being, we had to make sure that people didn't come and park in the neighborhoods and Uber to the venue to avoid paying parking fees. So I just wanted to give you some perspective. And I'm going to tell you, we hear you.
I just want to be clear, I am not opposed to a parking permit program, by no means. I definitely think it's needed for the reasons that you said. I just think there's opportunity to improve that. We're feeling penalized by it. I mean, just the fact that if I'm having guests, the 2-hour parking is just, according to the signs, is Monday through Friday until 5 p.m. So if my sister's coming to visit me and spend the evening with me, I have the inconvenience of going online, giving up her license plate number, which I'm not sure she's in favor of. I just think there's opportunities that make it more user-friendly for the residents. I'm on the same page with you, and I think it can be done, and we have the same results.
Okay, it's Oliver, right?
Yes,
Miss Oliver, did you know that a license plate is public and?
that's fine.
Hold
but
on,
that's not the
wait a
point
minute, wait a minute. I'm
necessarily.
sure gonna let you finish, let me
Okay,
finish.
I
So,
gotta go.
for her to be worried that you've given up her license plate, no, her license plate is public. That's why they're affixed to your car. So that's really not an issue. It's not. The bigger issue is the 2 hours. I think what you're saying is you don't think the 2 hours is enough.
Not
And
necessarily the 2 hours, just the inconvenience of the homeowner having to go online to input the information. If your Wi-Fi's down and something comes up, you then have to come here to try to plead your case. It's just a big inconvenience on behalf of the
I'll tell you what you
homeowners.
do. I'll give you my number. You can call me. I'll do it on my phone for you. If your Wi-Fi's down.
Okay, well, that's not the point.
All right, I
appreciate
get-
that.
I
And
get
I have
you.
your number, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you being so kind to give out your number.
I get you,
I just
but-
think there are some opportunities. The fact that we have to pay for a special event, if I'm giving a baby shower, as a resident, I just don't think those fees need to be.
And I hear you on
I think
that.
there's a common ground, and I just hope that, if you guys are looking at it, and to you, Councilman Morales, I don't know if it was just your constituents that's calling, but I call into Dotson's office. I haven't heard back from him. And I've talked with all the residents pretty much on my street, and they all kind of share some of the same concerns. Not everyone is as vocal.
and-
I am in agreement with the parking permit program. I
Okay.
just think there's opportunity, and if you had input from residents to help tweak that program, I'm willing to serve in that capacity.
Ma'am, and first, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I'll tell you, this gives us the opportunity to tell you, how we've been looking at this. I agree with you on the aspects you're saying. What I would ask is that you give us an opportunity to start this program, get it going, work out the kinks, and it's gonna be evolving for the first maybe year or two. But please understand that our intention, our full intention, I know everyone up here, is to make things better for you. If we're making it worse, it's wrong, and we have to address it. But we haven't fully put the program out. We haven't fully seen the way our staff will handle those situations. So we are going to work it out. Now, I don't think that we could get it right without working out the kinks as seeing how it works. Our planned, program. We may disagree on that today. But I can tell you that our staff has really taken the time to think things through. Now,
Did you have input from the residents?
We're
Were
getting
any
it
of
right
the
now.
residents part of that council and that committee?
no, I don't think we have a committee, ma'am. And if we do have a committee, I hear you that you're interested in serving on it. And if
My question is, when the program was being designed.
Okay, let me tell you directly. This thing was put together so fast, no, there was no committee. And so we're depending on citizens like you to give us input as we navigate through it. And I will tell you, when you said the $50 to go to a baby shower, it broke my heart. And
Yeah.
so.
Well, not to mention the college students that come home, but that's okay.
but we can address.
And then,
We can address those. But I do want to address the public input part. Most of us that have been up here have received calls based on parking, and that's how we've made our assessment through the years of actually listening to the parking issues. And this is not just something we are guessing. This is something that we understand based on where we live and how our constituents have addressed the parking issue throughout the years, not on any particular issue.
And in addition, we looked at what other cities do, so I mean, we didn't reinvent the wheel. However, what you're saying is very important to me, to us, and we will take a look. I'm definitely going to look at that baby shower.
Yeah, like the baby shower thing, you shouldn't pay $50 for that. Like, I agree with that.
I agree with
I don't want
that.
to belabor the point, but just moving forward, I think if you guys included residents as part of these new policies with input, we can solve a lot of this. before we implement it. So we're not going back revisiting, because you've sent communications out that was in black and white. It didn't say this is a trial. It didn't say this is not, I didn't know that it wasn't effective currently until I called Dotson's office and one of his assistants told me. But communication is key, and that can avoid a lot of anger or whatever from the citizens. So I'm saying, let's involve the citizens of Inglewood so that we do what's best. Because we all have the same intent in mind. I hear you loud and clear, and I appreciate your efforts. It's never once that I think you are not doing this to make the city better. You guys have made the city relevant, and I applaud you. I'm just saying, this is an opportunity where the residents are directly impacted, and to have our input would be greatly appreciated.
You know, and
Particularly so it's a user-friendly. Right now, the program's not user-friendly. I think the same goals can be met. We both agree on the same goals. I agree. People parking 12 cars all over the streets, all of that stuff is not cool. Homeless sleeping in front of your house is not cool. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I think there's an opportunity for us to meet the same goal, but let's tweak it to get input from the residents who live
And
this.
Ms. Oliver, what you're saying is very key.
Yeah.
Tweaking. There's no wholesale problem with
Yeah.
it. There are some tweaks that need to be done. And the reality is, no matter how much input that you had in the construction of the project, once you implement it, there's going to be things that nobody thought about.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have good people like you that come and give us something to think about. And this is what this process is about.
And I congratulate you for coming out today, and thank you very much, because you've already made a difference. The one-time fee on the one-time event.
Baby showers.
Baby shower, which we'll take as an example. The truth is that you've made that impact already. You know, once you made the point, and I'm sorry you didn't get anyone on the phone. I'm sure Councilman Dotson, when he gets his message, he'll call you. But if any one of us would have gotten that, and because you're right, that sounds unreasonable to us sitting up here, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention.
Okay, last request. Can I serve on the Parking Authority Committee? As a
We-
resident of
We
Inglewood.
do have a
Is it
commission.
exclusive?
We do have a commission. However, the appointments are made by the council people. They appoint members, and the mayor appoints the chair. And
But
so,
she
and
said
so
the
you,
parking authority, that's us.
no, and we are the parking authority.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay,
All right.
and last thing, just, just please allow opportunities for residents of Inglewood to be a part of this policy and procedures moving forward. And
Well, actually, today you are.
thank you,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very
I look
much.
forward to seeing the revisions. Thank you for your time.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, so now we'll close public comment. Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Warrant register.
Move along payments.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, successor agency members, and housing authority members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar items 2 through 8.
So move.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. DR 1 and H3.
Staff report recommending approval of the acquisition and resale of the property located at 730 Quarry Drive, number 9, Inglewood, California, 90302.
I move 1, 2, and 3 for the City Council and 1, 2, and 3 for the Housing Authority.
Second that as well.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members and housing authority members Dotson.
Aye.
Well, let me stop. I'm sorry, I'll take that back. Let me start with council, and then I'll do the second part. Council members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla,
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye.
As to the housing authority members Dotson,
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Chairman Buds.
Aye. 01.
Staff report recommending adoption of ordinance number 21-15, establishing pay range assignments and conditions of employment for fiscal year 2021 through 2022.
Motion to waive further reading.
Second. Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. Move adoption.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Fogg. Aye. Mayor Buds.
Aye. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a closed session at Tobin versus City of Inglewood. As to that matter, status on the case was provided to City Council. No reportable action taken. As to A2, there's no oral reports from the City Attorney's Office.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. CM1.
No oral reports from the city manager's office?
CC1. Madam City Clerk.
Yes, Mayor, thank you so much. Well, first of all, welcome back to us. I want to remind all of our residents that today I would like for them to exercise their right to vote. We have a statewide election today. Our local drop box locations for Inglewood residents, if you have your ballot, you can go to any polling place and drop them off, and/or you can go to Edward Vincent Park, Darby Park, Imperial and Crenshaw Library, across from Inglewood High School on Gravilla. You can drop them off up until 8 p.m. tonight. Also, on September 8th, I had the honor of attending the NFL headquarters groundbreaking event with some of my colleagues, and that was amazing. Thank you so much for that. Also, this past weekend on Saturday, I would like to thank Mrs. Sharon Mackey and the Circle of Women for honoring me as a woman of excellence. It was a wonderful event. Also, our own Thomas Bunn and the media team, they won the Savvy Award for Best Public Service Announcement in the country. So congrats to our team. Our media team is amazing. They're outstanding. I love them. And then in closing, just want to remind everyone that tomorrow begins Hispanic Heritage Month. And so we want to recognize Hispanic Heritage Month by recognizing the achievements and contributions of Hispanic Americans who have inspired others to achieve success. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my remarks.
Thank you. CSA 2.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 27, 2021.
Move approval.
Madam City Clerk.
Successor agency members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye. Adjourn the successor agency, H2.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 27, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Housing Authority members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, we'll adjourn the Housing Authority. The Parking Authority is already in session, P1.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 27, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Parking Authority members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the Parking Authority. The JPA is in session, JPA 1.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting held on April 27, 2021.
Move approval.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Joint Powers Authority members Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Falk.
Aye.
Chairman Buds.
Aye, adjourn the JPA. There are no appointments to boards and commissions. Public comment regarding other matters, 1 minute. Are there any members?
Yes. Hello, my name is Pablo Alamand, District 4 resident, and I just want to touch back a little bit on the
Move the microphone a little closer to you, sir.
parking permit situation. Is it this one? Or, can you hear me better?
I can hear you better now.
Okay, yeah, my name is Pablo Alamand, District 4 resident, and going back on the permit that we don't have, I'm in agreement with the permit, but you know, I believe that people have 7 to 8 cars because they realize they only have one side of the street. So what they're doing is makes sense. You know, they get other cars to park, like you said earlier. And if we were able to have at least both sides of the street, like our city neighbor Lenox, I don't think we would have that issue. And I don't believe Lenox has that issue. And they're the west of us. They have the same width of streets as we do. I went over there and I looked at it. It looks the same. I haven't measured it, but you know, it doesn't seem like they have a problem with parking both sides of the street in District 4. Why can't we learn from Lenox? You know, they've been successful for decades doing this, so we should be able to do that as well in District 4. Thank you.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard, why can't we learn from Linux? I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Let me tell you this, that the city does not make single-sided parking on a lark. It's because if cars are parked on both sides of the street, you will not be able to safely have two-way traffic on the street. That's why. Second, to say that people have 7 or 8 cars as a hedge against not having a parking space is counterintuitive. The reality is they have 7 or 8 cars because they have 7 or 8 cars. And and this is something that people have to understand, street parking is not a free parking structure. And the reality is there has to be some sense of balance in the amount of cars per household. It's unreasonable to have a 3-car driveway, a 2-car garage, and then park 3 or 4 cars on the street. There's no way that anyone else can have visitors. And like I said, there are cities, they don't even allow overnight parking. So I hear you, but one thing that I will never agree is that a single household having 7 or 8 cars is not unfair to their neighbors, particularly when they use one of those cars to monopolize a 2-car space so that when their relatives get home, they will have that street parking as though it belongs to them. So I hear you. We can learn from a lot of things. I don't know if we're going to be able to learn from Linux. And I definitely don't believe that we make streets single-sided parking when there is enough space. Oh, and also, the councilman brings up a very important point. Public safety equipment, like fire trucks, can't navigate those streets either. So, like I told Ms. Oliver, we hear you. We hear you. I don't know that we're going to agree on everything, but I'm glad that you came, and I'm glad that you made your feelings known.
Thank you. Just real quick, 16 years ago, District 4 had one-way, traffic, and there was parking on both sides of the streets. I'm not sure if you guys recall that.
I do.
And then a couple of, maybe 3 years ago, we painted on District 4 both sides of the street. It was like, crisscross. You will paint red, so you were able to snake through and also, get the cars by, having a little bit more width to the roads. But, I'm here to just give, information and my 2 cents that, why don't we just pick one side of the sidewalk that has the grass and cut half that grass on one side, and that'll widen the street, and that'll solve the problem, and that'll be a permanent solution. I've been in District 4 for 16 years, so I've seen the cars. I know people have cars. They just park them in the center, and they just leave them. So when they come from work, they
Yes.
just push it forward. They push it back when they leave in the morning. And one more other thing, if it's Monday through Friday, that I think it's maybe the big concern. How about starting Friday, like at 5 p.m., all the way to like Monday, 8 a.m. in the morning? Why can't we have, both sides open on Saturday and Sunday, at least just to have, friends and family come over on the weekends and in holidays? Can't we just at least allow that?
Go ahead, Councilman.
It sounds like a quick fix, wow, why can't we just, and I get it, and again, we appreciate you coming, but it's a lot more complicated than that. If it was just that simple, then we could fix all kinds of streets, but it doesn't change when you're looking at the width of the street to make sure we can get our fire trucks, the paramedic units, up and down these streets without having to stop and then jump out halfway down the block because they can't get through. So, I'm sure this is something that your council member will take a look at and evaluate, but it's not as simple as let's just change it from 5 to 7 in the morning, Monday, from Friday night to Monday.
What was your name again, sir? What was your name?
Pablo Aleman?
Aleman, Mr. Aleman,
Yes.
what the councilman was saying in a nutshell is the law of unintended consequences. The reality is that you're right. At one time, they did do some of those streets one way, and obviously there were problems that were not foreseen that caused the city to reverse it. I wasn't here. That caused them to reverse their course, and so there is no total fix. And what we're trying to do is get to the thing that's the most reasonable and works for the most people. And there's something that we have to acknowledge. There is not unlimited parking space at the curb. And the reality is that the curbs need to be available for normal city life for the residents. They're not to be monopolized by a single family or a single person just because they have more cars than everybody else. So I definitely hear you, we hear you, and want to thank you for coming and giving us your input.
Definitely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
With that, we'll close public
Just
comment.
one more comment.
Sorry,
Lisa?
we have a few more speakers.
All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. Thank you. I'm Melissa Barlow, District 1. I'm circling back around. Me and my neighbors started in 2019 with the Traffic Commission about all of the accidents happening on the 8th Avenue corridor, so specifically 8th Ave and 79th Street. I would like to let you know that on some weeks we have 3 accidents. On any given month, we have 1 accident every week. A car has breached my house. A car has breached my neighbor's house. Mr. Dolson, I've called your office multiple times and I've emailed, I've gotten no response, nor have I gotten a response from the city manager, especially during COVID. I sent an email April 4th explaining these accidents, even attaching photos, letting you guys know that I was 20 seconds away from being pinned at my front door. Certainly I would have been killed by the concrete column that the car took out, and I've gotten no response. So in 2019, we followed the advice of the Traffic Commission and did a petition, which was useless because the Traffic Commission knew the whole time the answer that they gave us, which was that this was classified as a collector street or higher classification. This is not acceptable explanation because once you continue down 8th Ave towards Florence, LA City has speed humps, the dips all throughout their side of 8th Avenue. Through our research in 2019, we were finally able to even let the Inglewood PD know that the other side of our street, which happens to be City of LA, is actually controlled by City of Inglewood, because when it came to giving tickets and towing cars, there was a lot of confusion built up about that, which we helped to clarify by looking at the city maps that City of LA gave us. This is a very dangerous situation. We are not exaggerating about this. There are constant this Tuesday of this week.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, you only get 1 minute. You've
Okay.
had 3 minutes so far, but just 1 second. What's your name, ma'am?
Melissa Barlow.
Okay, Melissa, you know, I live not 3 blocks from you, and I walk up 8th Avenue.
Let's switch houses, Mr. Mayor.
Wait, every morning, no, that's not the point I'm making. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you're not the first person that I've run into that says that they think cars travel at a high rate of speed. What I wasn't aware of was that LA had speed humps at their border. I will have to go and check that out, but I never walk out of Inglewood. However, part of our vetting process is input from the fire department, and that is a main artery for fire equipment to be able to rapidly respond to paramedic calls and fire calls. And so I don't know that would be persuasive for public safety to put speed bumps that would slow paramedic response. And I'm someone that's very sensitive to paramedic response. Now, that being said, we definitely will assign police motorcycle officers to monitor the area. We might even look and see if we can do a traffic survey so that we can enforce it with radar. So we're definitely hear you. We're definitely going to respond. What I would like you to do is leave your information with Mr. Ward, who's there, so that we can have the police department contact you and work on a solution. But speed bumps probably won't be the solution, but we definitely are going to respond to you.
Would like to get a response from your office on our emails and our phone calls, please.
Did you email me?
Yeah, I emailed Mr. Dotzen, and yes, one of the emails you were CC'd on too, Mr. Mayor. We need a little bit of sit-down time on this. It's very serious.
Okay, the sit-down time is going to be with the police department. Okay.
We have met with them, and they're actually very sympathetic to our calls because they're out there every week.
Okay, well, I mean, they're the ones that are going to provide the enforcement.
Okay. And I am sensitive to fire and paramedic too. I have an RN license. My daughter's father's a paramedic. Mr. Mayor and all the city council, most of the time that the fire trucks and paramedics are there are because of these accidents. I'm very aware about the medical calls versus the accident and traffic calls. And I will get with Mr. Ward, and please, Mr. Dotzen and Mr. Mayor, this is very important to us.
Ma'am, let me tell you something. I respond to every email.
You do. You respond to us on Facebook too, and I appreciate it.
That's right, to every email.
But this is really critical, and we would like eyes on it.
Ma'am, everything is critical.
Yeah.
But I'm saying what I don't want to go away is you leaving the impression that you aren't answered or we ignore emails, because I don't
No,
ignore
you're
emails.
very good at responding, but I
Okay.
would like to ask Mr. Dotzen to have his office have a better response rate for us citizens. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate you coming by. Are there any other public comments?
My name is Cedric McCauley. I'm a renter. I live at 621 Howland Drive. And my concern is the bike paths, the bike lanes. Manchester has a really nice bike lane, but you can't keep it clean. We need to keep the trash and the glass out of the bike lane. And then there's another bike lane you can find on Google Bikes. The roads are horrible. I'm tearing up tires at least once a month trying to ride down those streets over there by where the old, where the car rental places are. Those lanes are horrible. Those streets need to be fixed.
Where is this, sir?
Okay, if you go down Hillcrest all the way to the end, you can make a right or you can make a left. Both directions.
Okay,
The
are
streets
you talking
horrible.
about Hillcrest at Florence or Hillcrest terminating at La Cienega?
Both directions.
Okay, and you're saying that the streets are so terrible that you tear up your...
I'm tearing up tires.
Sir, I'm gonna have to tell you something. I drive those streets. I drive them, okay? And they're not horrible. There's not trash on them all the time. And I will tell you this, if there's trash in the streets, that's because people throw it there. And it's impossible to clean up after hundreds of thousands of adults that throw things out of their windows on a real-time basis every day. But I will tell you one of the things that I do know. I know that Inglewood is one of the cleaner cities in the surrounding area, and we will keep on trying to do a better job. But I have to tell you with authority, since I drive those streets, I don't see them in a condition that they tear up streets. Florence was redone within the past few years. Hillcrest is in very good condition. So we're having a disconnect in reality here. But let me tell you, I hear you. I hear you. We'll tell the public works people to monitor those intersections. But I would have to tell you from my own personal experience as a resident, I have to disagree with you.
I ride a bike. I don't drive the streets in a car.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm talking about, I just want to make the city council aware.
Okay.
LA County has paid, over $6 million to a fellow who went down on PCH when they hit debris in the bike lane. He had permanent injuries. So
Okay.
the city council don't want that kind of trouble.
Okay,
And
all right.
I know they're not cleaning the lanes because I use them 2-3 times a week.
Okay, now when you say they're not cleaning the lanes, the reality is that it's impossible for any city to contemplate when people are going to litter. But every street is cleaned by a street sweeper every week. Every week. And I promise you that. So what I will do is I personally will pay more attention to Florence at Hillcrest, and we'll see if we can do a better job for you.
Pay attention to Manchester. Manchester will take you.
Okay, all right. We'll do that, sir. We'll do that.
I love Manchester. The streets are smooth. That's why I like it.
That's why you like riding down them.
When you
Okay.
get to the bike lanes, it's glass. I see the same glass every week.
You see the same glass every week.
Yeah.
Sir, that would be impossible because we have a street sweeper that goes down. But nonetheless, I'll take your word for it. There's glass every week, and we'll look at it.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we'll close public comment. Mayor and council remarks. Councilman Dodson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few. I want to thank Doris Obey for inviting a Park and Recreation Commissioner and myself, Lee Denman, to her tennis tournament at Edmund Vincent Park. Kids 13 to 18 years old. It was really good. And we gave out trophies to the first place winners, Alex Doug, and second place to Simone McDavis. I want to congratulate both of them. They did put on a real show. Thank you, guys, and keep it up. 7-Eleven ribbon cutting on October the 3rd. On September the 3rd. I wanted to let everybody know there's a new 7-Eleven that was relocated across the street from the old one at Arborvitae and Prairie. I want to thank the Mayor Butts and Councilman Padilla for coming out to help celebrate the reopening 7-Eleven. The 7-Eleven owner, Ahmed, presented a check to Mrs. Irene Green for $711 for her school. There was music and mariachi group and live DJ with gifts bags given out to customers. I want to tell everybody we have an House Revenue event that we have every year. This Saturday, I will have my annual shredding day at the Police Community Center on Manchester, located at 2901 Manchester Boulevard. The hours are from 9 to 11:45. Paper only. Paper only. We are expecting a large crowd. I suggest that you come early. The truck will leave when it gets full. So please don't get angry at us. We're expecting a crowd. Get there early. Get your paper shredded, and we will do the best we can to serve everybody. But we only got so much room. Mr. Mayor, I'm going to ask you to close this meeting in the memory of Sam Cunningham. He was born August 15, 1950 in Santa Barbara, California. He died September 5th, 2021 at his home in Inglewood. Sam Cunningham was a football player from the University of Southern California and helped to break down the racial barriers when they played the University of Alabama and won with a winning score of 42-21. Afterwards, he finished SC. He was drafted by the New England Patriots in the first round. He served as the block captains for my block club, 4th Avenue Homeowner Association, for several years. Sam was not just a great football player, but an incredible man. May he rest in peace.
Thank you, Councilman Padilla, District 2.
Thank you, Mayor. Stuff that we have going on. We all hear our residents and our visitors when it comes to traffic, and even more specifically to the parking permit issue. And we ask you to be patient with us. It's a work in progress. We are trying to do the best that we can. But remember to please, you don't have to wait till the council meetings. You can also reach any one of us, give us a call or send us an email so we can help address your issue. So you don't have to wait till Tuesdays at 2:00. You can reach us all the time. And so please take advantage of that. As a matter of fact, we all have newsletters. And if you'd like to subscribe to the newsletters, please just reach your council representative and say, hey, put me on your newsletter list. And that way you'll be informed, as to what's happening in Inglewood. So it's important to keep, as somebody said, communication open. But it goes back to the residents as well to give us a call so that we can get you on these newsletters and keep you informed. With that, I just want to invite everybody to come out this coming Thursday, September 16th, the 16 de septiembre, at the brand-new Fiesta Martin Cocina and Cantina, which is right across the street at 1330 North La Brea. They're going to be doing their ribbon cutting. This is a brand-new restaurant for them. So come out and show your support. It'll kick off at 4 p.m. this Thursday, Fiesta Martín Cocina y Cantina. I also want to acknowledge, we have a new restaurant in District 2 called Carnitas El Artista, which is located at 510 North La Brea. The owner is Gustavo Chavez, and he became an official Rams house last week. So the Rams came out and they celebrated their business. Again, Carnitas El Artista. If you get a chance, come on out, say hi to Gustavo, 510 North La Brea. For your calendars, on September 21st, as I mentioned the last time we met, we're putting together, it's called Etch and Catch, which is for catalytic converters. So you can get your driver's license number put on your catalytic converter. So if it is stolen and it's recovered, we can have now officially a victim, the person that owns that, so we can prosecute the person that was caught with the stolen catalytic converter. That event is taking place on Wednesday, September 22nd. We have limited space. It's being hosted by Inglewood Tow Company and the Inglewood Police Department. If you'd like to register, please call my office at 310-412-8601, 412-8601. Also call that number to register for my newsletter, and you'll talk with Ramon, and he'll be able to assist you. And lastly, Mayor, just 30 seconds. Yes, we're going to be starting in a couple of weeks our Citinella project. It's the resurfacing of Citinella, and it'll be in increments. We're not going to do the whole thing all at once, but it will, at the end of the day, resurface Citinella from La Cienega all the way at the curb to Florence. But it'll be incremental. And we're going to have signs out there to let folks know. And there's also going to be information available, who to call if you have any concerns or issues, so we can help address it. Again, that open communication. This is all in my newsletter. So please subscribe to the newsletter so you can stay informed. And with that, have a great week.
Thank you. Councilwoman Falk from District 4.
I start off by thanking you, Mayor. I think that it's very important that we do address our residents when they take time to come out and make public comments. And you spent a lot of time addressing their concerns, answering questions. And it's not just their questions. These are questions by many other residents. And so I feel like we were able to achieve a lot by giving them a lot of information, helpful information. And so I love that interaction that you had, and I think that it's very important, and I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Also, just a couple of announcements for myself. I was so happy to be able to be at SoFi Stadium on Sunday with the mayor and my colleagues, and we celebrated the game opener, first game at SoFi Stadium. Just an amazing, amazing experience. And so it was very surreal. We have a lot of great pictures that we took on the field, but it's something that I'll never forget. And so we're just so blessed to have such a wonderful stadium here in our city, one of the best stadium in the nation. So just a great milestone for us. And so I really enjoyed myself with my colleagues. We all had a good time. And then also we have coming up on Friday, the groundbreaking ceremony. The groundbreaking ceremony for the Clippers Ibex Stadium. So exciting. It's go time, City of Inglewood. So that's happening on Friday, and I'll be there with the mayor and my colleagues, and we'll celebrate that. just so much happening in Inglewood. It's just, wow, just amazing. It's hard to keep up with everything sometimes, but so that'll be a great time. And I will definitely have all this information in my newsletter, share everything with the residents, and just a very exciting time that I wanted to just make sure we capture and share what's happening. Just a lot, just in 1 week. And then lastly, I also want to encourage Inglewood residents to exercise their right to vote. It's very important. Our ancestors worked very hard for this opportunity, and I just hope that nobody takes that for granted. So please take an opportunity to get out and vote today and make a difference for yourself. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Morales, District 3.
Thank you. First, thank you very much for coming out and speaking. That was great. I want to touch first on the good stuff. We went to the Rams game. It's amazing for me to have sat here through so many years where we saw a vision of what we could be, and we were trying to find a pathway to it. And when we found a pathway to it, it's amazing, that we took it, we believed, and we made some very difficult decisions. And being there on Sunday was amazing because it was something that I thought about throughout that day, and it's amazing we have it here. And as Dion said, the Clippers are doing their groundbreaking on Friday, which we look forward to even more success. And, like every city that is successful, we deal with common issues. And one of them's traffic, one of them's parking, which is amazing because, there is a grateful side to seeing these type of issues that a successful city has. We will continue to learn how to live with our success, and this is one of the steps we have. Now, I feel like we have a pretty good plan for the parking. Is it perfect? No. We will be working out some of the issues that maybe are collateral, as the mayor used. That's a good word because it's something that we didn't think about. And with it, we'll address those issues as we move forward. One of them was addressed today, which I know we'll talk to our Public Works Director to address that. And we'll see more moving forward. There are also things we didn't mention up here, some of which have to. There are a lot of folks who also run businesses out of their home who have work vehicles. And that's an impact to the local neighbors. And that's not fair. It's just not fair that, folks are creating a business, and the more successful they get, the more vehicles they have, and that's great. But it's great for you. And the problem with impacting neighbors is that the neighbors have no relief other than what we can give them. So we're trying to address those as well as part of the parking that is brought by our success, and we will. And it'll take time, but I feel we're taking that step forward. So that's it. Our city clerk mentioned Hispanic Heritage Month, which starts tomorrow. An amazing month for a lot of us and our friends from every culture. The reason it starts on the 15th is because 5 Latin American countries celebrate their independence tomorrow, which is Costa Rica, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. And then on Thursday, which is Mexican Independence Day, September 16th, is Mexico and Chile. And we have so many folks here in the city of Inglewood that are part of those cultures and part of those countries. And I just think it's great that here in this city, we always have our Hispanic Heritage Month celebration. We won't be because of COVID this year again, but it's amazing that we live here amongst so many cultures and we celebrate each other. So with that, Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you, first of all, I'm so jealous of the way that you and Alex enunciate every Spanish
Practice,
word.
man.
Okay, I'm jealous, all right? Doggone it.
But you're doing
You got to practice, man.
I want to thank Councilwoman Falk for, announcing these big things that we have coming, and I appreciate that. And I want to tell everybody that this is what public comment is supposed to be. It's supposed to allow us a chance to hear heartfelt concerns. And but understand this, that we have departments that do the work. And so we're going to hear you, but we're going to refer your issues to the proper department. You know, I'm not going to be out there with a radar gun on 8th Avenue, even though I'm walking out there every day, but I'm not going to be there with a radar gun. The police department is. And one of the things, Mr. Acting City Manager, is that we need to have a police representative at these meetings so they can take notes. It shouldn't be Emory taking notes to transfer the contact to them. Another thing I will tell you, again, it's one thing to have a comment and seek service, but it's another thing to exaggerate. And sometimes we have people that exaggerate an issue because, you know, they have a personal thing they want to get done. And let me tell you something, we're going to look into your issue, but it makes it difficult when you say that, you know, the road is torn up when we know the road was just resurfaced not 3 years ago. So we're here for you, but we want to engage in reality as well. And so this is a time like no other in any city that I know of. I mean, we opened the YouTube Theater like 2 weeks ago. The NFL Networks last week. We're going to have the groundbreaking for the Ibex Friday. We had the first attended game, 73,000 at SoFi Stadium this weekend. We're opening Yola in October. And so, you know, there's a lot to be thankful for. A lot of hard work has gone into, you know, making Inglewood a premier city in this country. And with that, I want to close the meeting in the name of Sam Cunningham, who passed away Tuesday, September 7th. He's survived by his wife, Sean, and a daughter. And with that, we're adjourned.